Well, thank you. It is truly an honor to be here today. I'm humbled by everyone that is in the room. Many of you that I do know, some of you that I don't know, and I look forward to getting to know you. It's been an interesting process. You know, I've got some thank yous I've got to get out of the way. I've got a lot to share, and I want to say those things. But first, I want to thank Dr. Geis and the search committee. I will tell you that through this process, there's one thing that I learned in a short period of time, is that Dr. Geis and his search committee absolutely love Louisiana Tech. They're dyed-in-the-wool fans, and they want to see the best for this university. And that's one of the things that excited me about this opportunity. I do want to thank my wife for being here today, and also my family. I have my mother and my father that are here. I have my sister and her family. I've got, I'm be honest, I'm not sure how many people I have here today, but you know, it's certainly it's an exciting time. It's a unique time. My oldest niece will be a freshman at Louisiana Tech here, and she has just been selected to be on the cheerleading squad, so I'll make sure I keep an eye on her from the sideline, that she's behaving, but it's also good to know I have a babysitter right off the bat. We'll trade services, tutoring for babysitting. But I also want to thank another family. And that's the McNeese family. Excuse me. You know, I've been at McNeese for 7 years, and they're great people. Dr. Robert Hebert gave me the opportunity of a lifetime at 25 years old, and I'm grateful for that. Dr. Philip Williams, who is the current president at McNeese, tremendous leader, and their future is extremely bright for McNeese State University. The coaches, the staff, the student athletes, it's been a joy. You know, working in athletics should not be that. It shouldn't be working. It should be a lifestyle. It should be something that you enjoy. And I have truly been able to enjoy my time at McNeese because of the people that I've worked with and had the privilege of working for. The fan support is great, and their future is bright. But now let's talk about Louisiana Tech. It's a new era. It's a new opportunity, and there's a lot of excitement. There's never been a better time than now to be a part of this university and be a part of this fan base. I want to tell you that through this process, I didn't have to get recruited to Louisiana Tech by the search firm. I got called about the job, but I already knew about Louisiana Tech. I didn't have to tell me about their great achievements or their bullet points like they may have had to do other candidates. I have no idea. But I already knew that this was a job that I wanted. You know, it's a position that garners respect. It has a national brand, and it is well known throughout the country. And being from the state of Louisiana and having lived over 30 years of my life here in this state, I recognize Louisiana Tech as one of the greatest universities in this state. And I was humbled and honored to take on this. But with a new president, Dr. Geis, a new conference in Conference USA, a new football coach in Skip Holtz, who's going to take over a program that's had great success. We've got great coaches. We've got great administrators. The fan support is tremendous. Both our football and our men's basketball teams were ranked in the top 25 in national polls last year, and we're coming off of that momentum. And so I will tell you, there's never been a better time to be a part of the Tech family than today. So if you've ever thought about being a part of it and getting on board, today would be a great day to start, wouldn't it? And if you're already on board, then what else can you do to increase the efforts that we're trying to accomplish? I'll share a quick bit of our vision. I think that it's important to understand that we're going into a new league, and there are higher expectations. I've got a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old, and we worry about them getting in the deep end of the pool. Well, let me tell you, we got into a deeper end of the pool, okay? And we've got to make sure that we're prepared for that. Financially, structurally, everything that we do, we're not just in the conference. We want to win the conference. We want to be the top of the class in everything that we do, academically, in the community, and obviously, we want to win. So we want to be a top athletic program in all areas. We want to solidify ourselves, even more so than we already are, as one of 2 premier universities in the state of Louisiana. We will be the University of North Louisiana, and we will infringe upon areas and grow our base as far as we can. because this is a university that has great recognition and a great brand, and it needs to continue to grow. Our student athletes will be our main focus. I'm privileged that there were some here today. Every decision that we make will be made in their best interest. It will be made so that they are the winners. And we talked about, as an athletic director, I have to present the vision. I have to be the leader, sometimes the mouthpiece. But really, at the end of the day, it's not about me. And it's not about really these coaches. It's about our student athletes. And it's about our ability to develop them in various areas, in the classroom, on the field, and then in life. I was a student athlete, so I know the shoes that they're in, and I can understand some of their challenges. And there are challenges, and it's our job to help them work through those. We've got a task ahead of us in terms of resource acquisition. We've got to increase our financial profile as we learn that we have more and more less abilities to rely on state funding. It's the universities that step up with their private support that are going to be the ones that excel in this period of time. And so we're going to be calling. I'm going to try to meet as many people as I can and say, hey, let's get on board. What can we do to increase this profile and to increase our athletic program? Because it's good and it's great, but we want to make it better. I tell people all the time, it's about being in athletics. We can look at the coaches or look at the student athletes, but this isn't a movie that you watch. It's more of a play, and you have to participate. So everyone has a part in the play. So being a role player in what it is that it takes to make this the best it can be. And then the last thing is competitive facilities. We will be relentless in our efforts to be as competitive as possible in our athletic facilities. It's what recruits student athletes, it's what retains student athletes, and it's what draws student athletes back to university and excites them for the future. It's what recruits donors, it's what recruits fans, and we will be passionate about our facility development at Louisiana Tech. In order to achieve success, we need the help of many, and we must have a united front, and I'm excited to lead that charge. I was once told recently that athletics was the front porch of the university, and it is. You know what, guys? It's not what makes the home. The home is the academic institution. We make no mistake about it. But the porch is what most people see. It's what attracts them to the house. I mean, we're going to be trying to buy a house in here at Ruston pretty soon, and my wife's not going to let me buy a house that doesn't have a good porch, okay? Even if the house is great. But so our job is going to be develop this porch as best it can be in order to attract more people inside the home. One of the things that excited me about a conversation I had with Dr. Geis is his vision of growing this institution to 15,000 enrollment. And I think that's a great initiative, and I want to help lead that charge. And part of my role is to make our athletic department such that it would attract people to come to this university so that we can achieve that goal. It is a privilege to be here today. Again, I am humbled to be the athletic director at Louisiana Tech, and I am proud to be the athletic director at Louisiana Tech. And I want you to be proud that I am your athletic director. And I hope it's a mutual feeling as we work together on these goals and accomplishments. And again, I look forward to meeting each and every one of you, and I certainly will take questions at this time.
At this time, I'd like to open up the floor to questions from our members of the media.
You realize you have to hit the ground running. What's some of your top priorities coming in?
Well, I've got to meet with the staff, and I think, as I've shared recently, I've got to listen. My job in many ways is to talk, but I think it's important to bite your tongue early and listen, because the people that are in this room, these are stakeholders. These are people that know and have a grasp on what's going on, and I want to hear from them. I want to know what it is that they're feeling so that we can develop this plan. But in terms of immediately out of the gate, we've got to start meeting people. We've got to start meeting people. This end zone complex is a major priority for us right out of the gate. It's got to be something that is attacked aggressively, not only from potential fundraising that remains, but also from getting it going. Having been a part of an end zone complex, not to the size and scale of this, but also a similar scope, it's a game changer. I mean, it has to happen, and it's got to happen sooner than later so that we can get this thing going, because we just finished the third summer at McNeese with it, and we're still doing open houses. Okay, people are excited about it, and so that same excitement will happen here, and that's a #1 priority, and there'll be others that will be identified through our listening and town hall processes that we'll have, and meeting with the internal folks and external folks.
A lot's going to be made of your age. What are some of the advantages of being a youthful AD?
Well, I told the committee this when I came in the room. The first thing I said, I'm going to address the elephant in the room about age, okay? I will promise you this, as long as I don't die, I will overcome that. And so the reality is there comes a point in your time where you can't control your age anymore. The problem is you're on the back side of that. It's out of control. But I'm on a side where I can kind of, gain a little bit. But look, age brings in two thoughts to a person's mind: immaturity and inexperience. And I don't think any of those two things apply to me in terms of my experiences at McNeese. And so, I think that where I benefit from it is that I have a level of energy that comes with a job that is very demanding. I mean, this job is like drinking out of a fire hydrant, at the same time going 100 miles an hour against the fire hydrant. I mean, it is a demanding job. And so you have to have energy. You have to have passion. And being able to translate from the student athlete, where it means on the field, on the court, to the various areas that you will encounter, whether it's compliance, whether it's budgets, whether it's donations, all the different areas that you have to touch takes a lot of energy. And I'm looking forward to it. So I would say that my youthfulness plays a part in the energy that's needed to do this job.
Dr. Geis talked about how quickly they wanted to move with the process. It's 2 weeks after really the last athletic director went out. How quick did it happen with you? Did they contact you?
Yeah, it's been a very quick process for me, and at the end of the day, when you get asked to be a part of something, you have to be prepared. You have to, you don't have a lot of time to think about it. You got to say, okay. And I think that's where I benefited, because I didn't have to say, well, this is some far off university that I've never heard of, or maybe I've kind of heard of them. I mean, not that we didn't do research to prepare for the interview, but my base of knowledge was a lot greater than maybe some other potential candidates. So yes, it was a quick process, but I felt very prepared to be in there to explain and to expound upon some of the things that I had, some ideas. And yeah, it's a quick process, but I'm glad that it's coming to a conclusion, at least now. I had someone tell me today, and Coach Holtz, I think you appreciate this, is he said, enjoy it, because today's like your recruiting day, but tomorrow's two-a-days, so get ready. And so, we got to get work done. So we got work to get done. Tomorrow starts two-a-days. Any other questions?
You talked a little bit about the facilities that you helped oversee down at McNeese. How much do you think that was a playing factor in getting this job here, knowing that what is the future holds for the facilities here in Ruston with regards to this university?
Yeah, I would think it has to be a major factor, along with other things. It's not just one component, but I just, having been a student athlete not too long ago, facilities are extremely important. And there was a day and time where you could recruit a student athlete on an easel and say, this is what we're going to do. And now you have to have it. And so we've got to be committed to, at all areas of being competitive in our facilities. And so I think that what we've done there translate well to a very similar and very similar in scope and everything of what we're trying to do here. I mean, looking at the blueprints, there's not very much difference other than it's a larger scope. It's a very impressive facility, but we've got experience doing that. And the other thing is dealing with the state process. The state of Louisiana is different in terms of those things. So you got to be able to understand how it works and how you communicate to those people and getting things moved through the system. And so I have experience doing that on a large scale.
You said that was going to be one of your top priorities, is to finally get the groundbreaking on this new facility. If you could put a timetable on it, I know you just got hired. But clearly this is a thing that's been going on for several years now.
Sure.
It's still a process that's in the process. When can the process finally get to the point where we're seeing dirt come out of the
Yeah, I'm just totally not in a position to answer that. I've still got to meet the rest of my staff. So, once we do that, then we'll get in a position to where we can do that. But just understand it's a priority, and it's something that will be a focus, along with other things. But I think that that's a component that helps with the other things that we're trying to do. And so it's got to be a focus. But yeah, I would be out of line by saying a priority. I just haven't had a chance to really dig down into that. There may be someone that can answer that today, but that's not me.
You restarted the M Club, I think is what they called it at McNeese for the former student athletes. Talk about what it meant for McNeese and what something like that could mean for Louisiana Tech.
You know, it's important getting your student athletes back. It's unfortunately across the board. I got friends across the country that are here today, and you know, getting former athletes support is something that is, not to say a struggle, but it's a challenge at times. And so it's something that we've got to be relentless on, that we've got to be focused on, because it's not only about the guys that are playing professionally, but also about I mean, I was a walk-on student athlete, you know, and so they're, you know, one of the best donors we had at McNeese was a walk-on student athlete, and just happens to own a really big company. And so it's about getting those people involved. And so getting them back involved, and it is absolutely very vital to the success. And their word means a lot, okay? And so when a student athlete says something, if they're excited about something or if they're negative about something, it carries weight. And so it's important to embrace those people, get them back involved as much as possible. And I know several Tech former student athletes, and so I look forward to reaching out to them immediately and trying to get them on board and help in any way we can, not only generate revenue, but generate support.